Good morning, Ellie. A lot of our viewers getting in touch, not terribly sympathetic this morning with the teachers, particularly given what the children have been through, so much school missed in the last 3 years. What's the feeling down there? What's the justification from these teachers?
Well, Bev, you can see why parents and families might think that. This is thought to be one of the most disruptive strikes that we've seen this winter. 7 million children will be missing school today. 150,000 teachers are thought to have walked out in a strike over pay and conditions. And you can see that they're lining up here for this march that's going to take on Westminster a little bit later on today. They're going to be marching until about 2 p.m. this afternoon. Thousands of people here. They've been gathering since early this morning. It feels quite like a carnival atmosphere. It does feel very lively. Lots of conversations being had about conditions and how they want to improve them. So let's speak to some teachers now. I can see some behind us. We are trying to walk backwards here. It's a bit of a difficulty. Good morning to you all. So why are we out on strike today? Why have we left our classrooms behind?
Well, we don't really want to be on strike, but we're being forced to because we are. Over the last 10 years, we've seen teacher retention, teacher pay has been plummeting, and for new teachers like me, the idea of making this into a career, it's getting more and more difficult to be able to stay in the classroom and support students because we're lacking the resources, we're lacking the support, and it's really something needs to be done, and that's why we're here on the streets today.
Lots of people would say that these strikes are frustrating because they see teachers as having really good pay on average, £30,000 to £40,000, 13 weeks holiday a year, good sick pay. They would see your benefits as very good and they don't see what the problem is. What would you say to them?
Well, I would invite anyone to step into any classroom into this country, see the conditions that we're working with, the sort of things we are expected to do to support our students, which we adore, we love our jobs, but the climate in which we're working in isn't conductive of a successful education system, and it feels like this government is taking less of education as a right, it's more of a burden which they have to tick off funding, very minimal to get by. Because right now, our wage expectations are. And just in terms of the national climate as well, the UK is falling behind. We're becoming the sick man of Europe, sick man of the world in terms of our education, our healthcare, all of our essential services, and because our government is just not doing enough.
And what about children whose education has been disrupted over the past 3 years due to COVID lockdowns? They're now going to have, it looks like, 7 days of strike action by their teachers. So many people would say that's just not fair on the children. Is this the right course of action?
Well, what's not fair on the students is, again, the conditions in which they're in the classroom. The way that teachers are being lack of support from the government. That is what is really going to disrupt their education, is that they do not have that solid support every day in the classroom. But we can't get that support if we're complacent. The only way we can get that is if we hold this government to account, if we take to the streets, rallying to a cause, to say to them, this is not enough, our students deserve better, teachers deserve better, parents deserve better, this country deserves better. And without doing this action, the government is not listening.
Did you let your school know that you'd be on strike action today?
The school was aware that most of the teachers is in our union. Did not give full warning because it defeats the purpose of a strike. If we're giving full warning about who's coming in and who's not, it gives potential to prepare. And that strike is meant to be disruptive. If you can prepare against it, then it's not being as disruptive as it can be.
Well, thank you so much for your time this morning. Thank you, really do appreciate it. So there you go, Bev, hearing there from a teacher, so many thousands of them here in central London. They will be marching down to Westminster to try and get their voices heard. The National Education Union suggesting that 150,000 teachers are out on strike. That's going to be affecting 85% of schools. The Department of Education disputes that. They say that many schools are remaining open, but we will get a clearer picture throughout the day of how disruptive these strikes are going to be. But ultimately, there are parents and families who turned up at the school gates today not knowing whether or not their children would be able to attend classes. So we are expecting it's going to be a very disrupted day.
Thank you, Ellie. Brilliant job.